And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to World Team League 2022 Winter Code S Round 10, day number 2. I'm, of course, your host, Live VIP, and with me, joining me this fine, lovely, beautiful evening, I have the one, the only, the Rufus, and AsherBro.
Well, here we go. We do have the German boys here representing Shopify as well, Lambo and TLO. And going up against Shopify, of course, it will be AlphaX. Astrea, RagnaroK, Zoun. Astrea been doing really well lately as well.
Oh yeah, all three of them have honestly been like really outperforming here in World Team League. It's a bit of a small lineup, but a quality lineup nonetheless. And this is going to be a bit of a spicy one because both AlphaX and Shopify, mate, they're up there in the standings.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be fighting it out for those second, third, fourth places, and pretty important game that we have here on our hands.
It really is, and we can see the lineups here before us. Lambo versus Zoun, ByuN versus RagnaroK, and Harstem versus Astrea. Ugh, a lot of amazing matchups. I know how much you love ZVP.
It's alright.
It's beautiful.
Fine.
It's beautiful, just like the strategy and the offense there from Lambo. Meanwhile, got a couple of 9s as well from Zoun, offense and micro.
Yeah, decent indeed, as we do have, yeah, exactly, those hexagons that matching up against each other. So it looks like Zoun getting that nod when it comes to the defense. Lambo for the strategy and macro, as Moondance will be our first map.
Yeah, we will be dancing in the moonlight here. Pretty interesting because you don't really get to see this map too often in ZVP. It usually does get vetoed instead, and spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the German Zerg player for Shopify Rebellion, Lambo.
And in the bottom right-hand corner for AlphaX, this is Zoun.
You know what's amazing?
What?
During the break, I checked menu log, and my Mac is open.
Menu Pog.
Exclamation mark menu Pog in the chat. I'm very tempted to order something, and I'll probably do it later.
Do it now.
Oh, but what if it comes during a game?
Wouldn't that be terrible? As we do have the gateway gas going to be starting up for Zoun, so very standard build coming out from him so far. Not rushing to get on the gas either, so I do think this does make it a little bit more likely that we will be having maybe a Twilight opener, but we do see him throwing a bit more on gas now.
Oh yeah, as he just quickly rubs his eyes here. It's getting quite late in land of Korea, I believe around 10 p.m. Oh, so yeah, so far nothing too crazy here. Lambo was forced to take the unnatural, so a little bit awkward, especially on Moondance. But I'm really curious to see how he approaches this, because again, we have seen a lot of like these Roach Queen all-ins in this matchup on this map. But against a hero style, I don't think that's really what we want to be seeing from the Zerg player. But Zoun doesn't have to play hero style.
Yeah, not at all. He does have a lot of different options in Zoun. Definitely a tricky customer when it comes to these PvZ openings.
Oh yeah, definitely. We have seen Zoun go for Twilight Council openers. We've seen him go for even Robo openers in the past as well. He really does like to mix things up and be a very difficult player to read as a result. Oh, so I'm very curious to see, for the time being, is going to be going for the Stargate.
Yeah, there we go. We have quite often seen him open Stargate and open for the Void Ray first as well. So we'll be looking to see him maybe using that just to mix up his builds a little bit once he pushes that Overlord away.
Definitely. Should be mixing things up afterwards. I'd be surprised if he does go for like double Oracle into a third base into Twilight Council, to be honest. But we'll see. Again, Zoun does have that in his repertoire if he needs to.
Yeah, exactly. But for now, I'm going to see both players just macroing on up. Very standard builds coming out from both of them. We do see Lambo getting that third down in his natural. And both players just going to be macroing on up. We see the Oracle is going to be coming out first for Zoun as well. Does put that chrono down and going to be looking out to see if he takes a fast third.
Oh, and even a fourth, mate. Why not?
True.
We shall see. As we do see the Overlord of Lambo slipping on into the main base, going to be confirming not just the first unit, also whether there's even a second unit coming out of that Stargate as well. So a very nicely timed Overlord. Meanwhile, Double Adept is moving out across the map, so Zoun is going to be putting on that pressure. Both the Adepts and the Oracles hitting it around the same time.
Yeah, there we go. So plenty of pressure coming on out. Should be able to start to maybe look to take out a few of these drones. Takes out a creep tumor as well. So definitely punishing that unnatural natural here, spreading the defenses of Lambo as thin as he can.
Oh, definitely, as he also trades a little bit with those lings. The Oracle does dip between the third base and the main. A couple of drones are going to be targeted down by said Oracle, so not too much bad damage there as the Oracle does end up dipping out of the third.
Yeah, these are just going to be running on out of here as well, as we do see a decent little swell of lings coming out from Lambo, but it looks like Zoun is going to be able to get those Adepts home safe.
Yeah, and I do like this adaptation from Zoun, by the way. He delayed his second Oracle because you don't need it that early on. I mean, I guess you do if you want to be dealing damage, but you can take a third base without it. So he does take a faster third, does prioritize that instead over towards the pocket, does still get his second Oracle just later than the norm. Ooh.
Oh, that Oracle almost going down. But yeah, like you're pointing out, you definitely have the option to be a little bit more greedy. And that's probably why you sent that first Oracle across the map as well, just because you are quite a lot safer here, as we do see he's going to be starting up quite an early Twilight Archives.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be working towards charge lots and Archons. There we go. There is that charge. It's going to be +1, so he's not going to be playing with Blink Stalkers. If unscattered, this could be devastating. We do see a safety Bailey Nest on the way here from Lambo, and again, a very nicely timed Overlord Scout as well. Going to get an eye on everything in the main, including the Templar Archives.
Yeah, we do see that Templar Archives. We see the Twilight and Forge researching. Of course, that could be for Blink as well, but the Templar Archives does make it a little bit more likely that something else is afoot.
Oh, exactly. So Lambo, he's a smart enough player. He's got that 9 in strategy for a reason, as well as he had some points in mindset, I believe, as well. He should be able to piece it all together in his mind and prepare for it accordingly. There we go. Roach Horns on the way, so he should be going for a Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. Very solid, well-rounded composition for the Zerg. Ideal as you go up against these kind of mass gateway compositions.
Yeah, 100%. Once again, we see Zoun just dipping in and out with these Oracles, trying to get a little bit of scout what's going on. We have this Archon being finished on up for Zoun here. Lambo is putting on a little bit of pressure with those Lings, trying to keep an eye on what's going on, what the army composition seems to be.
Oh, exactly. And in the end, it looks like, I mean, Zoun's going to be able to fully saturate his third base. There we go. Fourth base is going to be on the way as well. He has a couple of units to defend, and with these Archons, with the support of those Oracles as well, he should be okay. Lings are trying to find a couple of stray units here and there, but nah, Zoun, he's just a little bit too solid for that.
Yeah, there we go. We get that revelation going down. Got to be careful with these Oracles as well, that we don't lose them. They're very important for scouting at this phase of the game.
Oh, yeah, very important indeed. They get an eye on the Roach Horn. They're going to get an eye on the fourth base as well as it gets taken. What's important is that Zoun, as he slowly establishes the fourth base, is working towards a Robotics Bay as well. So, yeah, Zoun, he's getting away with a lot here. He hasn't really invested too much into his army. He's gone for a couple of warpins here and there, but not too much. So he is cutting a lot of corners to really secure his 4 bases, just turtling on up quite well. Lambo, now it looks like he is content with the drone count that he has.
Yeah, there we go. Going to be morphing in a lot of those Roaches and Ravagers, and actually being the Queens and the Overlords going to be coming along for the trip as well. So looks like a bit of a Queen War coming out from Lambo here.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. These Roach Queen pushes were quite popular for some time, and Lambo's going for it again. But oh my god, the Stasis Trap! Up! 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 Ooh.
Yeah, pretty huge Stasis Trap coming down. That first Disruptor not really going to be getting much damage, but we do see the Archons starting to take out some of the Overlords. The Ravager's going to be coming on in, throwing down some biles, trying to protect the Overlords here for that all-important creep, as we do see Lambo just trying to push on forward into the natural.
Yeah, but he has to be careful here. The Disruptor, it is going to reset shortly. We have a second Disruptor on the way as well. A lot of biles are going to be connecting here on Overlords and a couple of Archons. The Archons do fall.
Wow, all 3 Archons going down here, and we do see the Disruptor shot. Not too bad there, but I think we're going to need a lot more than that to make a hold for Zoun here, as he's just getting completely overwhelmed in this natural. Just seems like he was not prepared for this at all. Had not really hit his spike with the gateways.
Yeah, we were talking about it, how many corners he was cutting, how greedy he was to go on in towards the fourth base, and despite his scouting with his Oracle, as another massive Nova goes off, he wasn't able to really get eyes on the amount of roaches moving out.
Yeah, looks like he was pretty prepared over here at this fourth, but not really enough set up defensively at the natural. And I think it's just a little bit too late for him as we do see that pylon going down, depowering everything, including the Zealots. GG is called, and Lambo takes the first game for the Rebellion.
Oh, really solid go. Oh my god.
All right, buddy, calm down.
Look, this man likes to stay hydrated, mate. That is the secret to his success as he takes that first game in a very convincing fashion. Again, there wasn't anything too crazy going on, just Zoun, just, you know, cutting corners, being greedy, taking up quite quickly as well, and just being caught off guard there by Lambo. It was on Zoun to try and get an eye on that army as it pushed out through the center of the map, and it's just a little bit too late to spot that.
Yeah, but there we go. Zoun's map pick going to be Stargazers. Makes a lot of sense, of course, for the Protoss. You have that back base. You have a lot of room to work with as well once you get that 4 bases established. And this is a map that quite often we see Protosses kind of turtling it up on 3 bases and going into carriers quite quickly.
Yeah. It is. I don't know if Zoun is the kind of player to do that, but there are options that are available. Likewise, on the flip side of things, Zerg players have been known for not necessarily going for these Queen Roach pushes, but maybe even Queen Roach Nidus plays at that. The pocket pace can be quite vulnerable. Of course, it's also very well known as well, so Zoun should be in position to scout for anything like that. But I do expect to see Lambo going for another kind of timing attack, similar to Game 1.
You expect him to be in position?
Oh, Zoun should be in position, papi. In position.
Oh, beautiful.
Did you play COD today?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
why not?
I don't know. Why?
Is that why you're sick, papi? Are you
Yeah.
lacking the COD?
I am.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my god. As we are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right hand corner of Stargazers representing Shopify Rebellion, Lambo.
And in the top left hand corner of the map for Alpha X, this is Zoun. There we go. We do see the hatch first coming out for Lambo. So definitely one to approach things very theoretically and safe in the early game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nothing too crazy here. Just hatch first is forced to take the unnatural natural, but he takes the triangle third, which could come into play here when it comes to the creep spread, when it comes to how quickly he can set up for a push across the map. But for the time being, it's a little bit too early to be talking about that. You know, again, just it's the standard.
It is overload in position as well. Just going to be looking out for any cannon rushes, any nasty cheeky stuff like that. But for Zoun, just going to be a very standard build coming out here.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like cannon rushes are definitely something that we don't see enough of here at the highest level of play. It's you know, we see Prince whip it out every now and then, you know. I miss patience.
Partying will be back soon.
I miss partying as well. I miss them all, Poppy. Come back. Did you see Stats made his comeback stream? Yo.
Yeah, streaming.
Yeah.
It's a Protoss player.
He's not gonna cannon rush.
Gonna cannon rush his own third.
Let's go. Oh god. Yeah, for the time being, that we got another Stargate gets thrown down for Zoun. Kind of what we expect to see, but we got to keep our eyes peeled here. If at any moment he starts a void ray, mate, alarm bells are gonna be ringing.
Is there gonna be a second Stargate and a third?
Oh no! Don't do it, Zoun. Don't go to the dark side, puppy.
The winds are still fresh.
Oh boy, we'll see. We'll see if he does end up biting that in the end. Lambo just fully pulling out of gas, just focusing on his drone production. We got a third base on the way, Ling speed as well. Nothing really major to take note of. Just around the 4-minute mark, we should be seeing a safety roach warn as well as we have an Oracle coming out from Zoun.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to have that Oracle open. A nice defense here from Lambo, but good micro from Zoun as well, just trapping that drone there to take it out. Looks like this Overlord should just be able to get to that pillar, get to safety very close there, but does get the job done as we do see another gateway coming down for Zoun. No probe in position to take the third just yet.
Oh, no probe in position, which is interesting. It looks like the mineral patches are just now being mined out. It feels relatively late, especially because on a map like Stargazers, you can be a little bit greedier. So interesting choice here from Zoun. He's even going to go for a second Oracle as well. So this feels just like overall safer play. Maybe a little bit more scared of his opponent, especially now that he's down in this series.
Yeah, absolutely. It does look like he is playing things safe. He's going to be taking that back base as well, so definitely lending itself here to the strengths of this map. Means you can cut a few corners like he pointed out in the first game. He's going to be cutting that second Oracle just for a little bit here, and we do see extra gases on the way. We are going to be getting a Twilight Forge though, so no, not the extremely fast Stargate style. No carrier rush or anything like that, which I think is wise against a player like Lambo who does like to go for these Queen All-Ins.
Definitely. I do appreciate that, not just for Lambo, but for the viewers and for the casters as well. Thank you. So getting fully saturated, there's that safety roach warren being thrown down as well. We don't see a Templar Archives this time, though, so it looks like we may be seeing Blink for a change instead of that charge. We'll keep an eye on things here for Zoun on that production tab. As a double Oracle, they're just sharking around, trying to find some damage 3. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. There's a Templar Archives.
Yeah, there we go. So Zoun once again going for this opening. Does look like he finds it to be a nice safe way to play it. Maybe he might be opting to throw in a few additional gateways before he gets his fourth this time, or potentially just a few extra adjustments when it comes to the scouting. Already we can see his Oracles much higher on health for the hull than they were last game, so that's definitely going to help.
Yeah, and a lot of economic damage being done here. 3 Adepts get in towards that third base, and oh my god, 9, 10. Can we get 11? Ooh, 10 drone kills. Not bad. And we did see a bit of a gateway explosion much earlier this time, so Zoun was overall looking much more solid here.
Yeah, 10 drones in total, and with that fourth not being taken, we do have the possibility of a little bit of aggression as well. It is possible that he is just playing things very safe, but especially after that much drone damage, I wouldn't mind seeing a push coming out from him.
I wouldn't mind that either. We'll see if it all kind of comes together here, especially with the completion of that robot. We'll see if he goes for a prism or if he starts the bay immediately as well to get into disruptor production. He's going up against a very similar army: roaches, ravagers, and queens. But Lambo also recognizes that because of the lack of the fast fourth, he's going for an infestation pit, so he's taking up as well. He's not going for the same kind of major push he went for in game 1.
Yeah, there we go. We do actually see a Void Ray being made here, which is very interesting. We see a Robo Bay on the way as well. So looks like Zoun really looking to power on these 3 bases.
The Void Ray is really weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but I love it. Here we go. What was the infestation before? It's for Swarm Host, and that makes plenty of sense on this map. You can really abuse that pocket base, but that's also why I love the Void Ray. The Void Ray is actually queued up, I believe, to go for that Overseer, so he's going to be trying to limit the vision here of Lambo.
Yeah, I don't know if Zoun somehow saw something that helped him to piece this together, but looks like the Void Ray is going to be able to clear out these Overlords, and especially with the Swarm Host Nidospace play, that's going to be really helpful. It does look like Lambo is actually just going to use a bit of a creep highway to get these Swarm Hosts in position, though. And yeah, I have to wonder, I don't see a ton of PVZs on this map. It's possible that this is something that's quite common here for the reasons that we're seeing.
Definitely. I do think that the Oracles came across the infestation pit, so that may have tipped Zoun off in the end. Meanwhile, we do have the first Locust Wave headed towards that pocket base. Does take down the shield battery, the cannon, and even some probes.
Yeah, good amount of damage coming out with this first little wave here. So 3 probes, bit of static defense that will open things up for another wave as well. As here we go.
Oh yeah, here we go. The second wave is going to be getting in towards the pocket base, targeting down whatever he can once again. The static defense just isn't done in time. Meanwhile, I do appreciate that Zoun is not going for disruptors. He's going straight into Colossi instead. That'll work wonders when it comes to dealing with these Locust waves and breaking on through, getting into the juicy heart of those swarm hosts.
Yeah, nice force field going down there as well. Looks like Lambo will be rerouting some of these Locusts. Actually, the Nexus went down there. Kind of insane the amount of damage that these Locusts are able to put out. But as I say that, the Locust wave there at the 4th, now 3rd, pretty ineffective this time.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what happens when there is no shield battery or even overcharge in position to help deal with the DPS of those Locusts. But at the same time, the main army is pushing through the center of the map. Going to be able to clear up a lot, but oh my god, even loses an Archon towards the end. There's just so much creep here. Zoun is having a really hard time pushing this back.
Yeah, exactly. Lambo's really focused his creep spread on this one area, just as a springboard for these swarm hosts. And I really like the way that he's just using half of them at a time as well. Just getting a lot of utility out of this.
Yeah, it's really cool to see. And they target down, oh my god, not just the sentries, they get a Colossi as well.
Yeah, really clever. Just using those Locust waves to set up the fight and then heading on in there with the Roaches to snipe down the Colossi. That was really well done here by Lambo, as it does look like Zoun feeling the pressure to get some damage across the map. Pretty far behind in the supply, even considering that some of that is Roaches.
Yeah, and I don't know, like Zoun, he's got so much pressure on him, he has to push out into the map. He does catch some of these swarm hosts. 1, 2, 3, 4 swarm hosts going to be going down here. 5, great catch from Zoun.
Yeah, we see defensive Locust being used here, but a lot of those swarm hosts going down at the same time. Both Colossus going down.
Yeah, we do see a massive Nova connecting with the Roach Hydra, but it may just be too much here. We'll see. The Locust Wave is a little bit staggered. Is it going to be enough to break on through? It looks like no, it will not. Zoun will hold on to his 3rd.
Yeah, there we go. But that tech has been reset. We have no Colossus here. That would have been really helpful for this push. And we have Ember just dropping on back, going to be gathering all his forces, just trying to make sure that he's safe before he gets anything else done. A Zealot run-by will be sent out for Zoun here, and as he does notice a lack of base, he should feel pretty confident that against a 4-base Zerg, he doesn't have to go too crazy here.
Yeah, I do appreciate as well that Lambo, because he's been so cost efficient, he had a bank to work with, and he's transitioning. He has a hive, he's getting out of swarm hosts into lurkers, and especially because the Colossi count was reset, lurkers are going to have a bit of an easier time here.
Yeah, absolutely. These lurkers do have a lot of potential here. We do have that revelation going down, so the lurker will be spotted. Nova just going to zone out as well. But with those Vipers here, this is a nice army for Lambo, one that does have a lot of potential value.
Oh, it really does, but we spoke too soon. The Viper gets sniped. Great move from Zoun, able to rotate around the army, but oh my god, the Locust Wave is going to... Oh god! Oh!
Oh, a little bit of a misclick there from Lambo. Producer Oracle is just going to be making these stasis traps, and looks like Lambo just happy to let this one run the clock.
Yeah, exactly. Locust Wave not going to be doing too much here, unfortunately. And Zoun is now up on 4 bases. He's actually getting a superior economy. It feels like Lambo didn't intend for the game to go too long. And as a result, he's falling a little bit behind. He is still maxed, don't get me wrong. But a lot of that supply is in Roaches and Swarm Hosts.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the most efficient supply. It does look like he's going for a move here as well to trade out those Roaches for a little bit of damage as well. So looks like he does feel the same way, wants to improve his army.
Yeah, exactly. The Roach army just trying to rotate over, but it does get spotted by Zoun. He's going to be able to keep up with said rotation. At the same time, Lambo is setting up for a massive Locust Wave in towards the triangular 3rd.
Yeah, this army going to be completely surrounded, and a huge Spine Forest going to be dealing with all of these Zealots here very effectively. Great defense from Lambo.
Yeah, he shuts down the Zealot run-bys. At the same time, the Locust Wave is going to be able to get on top of the Nexus. The Shield Battery Overcharge is going to do what it can, but it's not going to be enough. The Nexus, oh my god, does it go down? No, it gets saved!
Yeah, the Nexus just getting saved there, but just for the price of that Locust Wave. We do see the Swarm Host numbers have been brought down a little bit here, and suddenly Zoun with a very threatening push here.
Yeah, exactly. Again, Zoun has the better economy. He's been taking a couple of better trades here as well. The Nova's are going to be going off just to zone away said army. Lamber's really only working with with lurkers to defend. He has to wait a little bit longer for another locust wave as Zoun is transitioning into Skytoss.
Yeah, there we go. Zoun going to use all the room that he's creating for himself here with this push, all the pressure that he's putting on Lambo. Just to transition into that sky toss, we do see 3 carries coming out at a time. We have shields and +1 air on the way. This Nexus over here looking a little worse for wear, so I am a bit worried if a Locust Wave gets sent here, but looks like Lambo actually going to be looking to attack the south side.
Oh, exactly. Oh, but he runs into Zealots instead. The run by comes across these Swarmers. One Swarmers is going to be going down immediately here. Forces the Locust Wave prematurely.
Oh, and there we go. Every single Swarmhost is going to be going down. Does look like Lambo was looking to trade those out, but I would think a little bit more efficiently than that.
Yeah, and Lambo hasn't droned in like the past 5 minutes. It's been a while. Now he's trying to take a 5th base at the same time as Zoun is. He should be trying to drone up and saturate it while he can. Meanwhile, what he lacks in workers, he makes up for in lurkers. That's a lot of lurkers.
Yeah, Lambo been going for a very tricky low eco style, just trying to catch Zoun out with these tech switches, and he does have a pretty significant force here. He might be able to get in here right before the carrier count reaches a critical mass.
We'll see if he can. Meanwhile, the abducts are good enough. Only 1 disruptor shot is going to be going up here, but there is 0 anti-air.
Yeah, and that Nova was absolutely huge. Just means these low health lurkers are going to be going down so quickly. And I'm not really sure what this push was intended to achieve for Lambo. Maybe just feeling the pressure of being a little bit all in on such a low drone count, trying to see if he could get any damage, but didn't quite have the support to break through.
Yeah, to be fair, Lambo never scouted the main base. He never saw the transition to Skytoss, so he just wasn't ready for it. He did have a Spire. We do have Corruptors on the way, but he lost so many Lurkers, and that was an expensive loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lambo finds himself in a very rough position here, just scrambling to get any defense that he can all together for these carriers.
Oh my god, exactly. And we'll see if he can get enough anti-air in time. Zoun getting fully saturated on his 5 bases. Could be looking to get a 6th soon, maybe even that pocket base once again. We do have the Viper surviving the previous engagement, so at least Lambo doesn't have to worry about replenishing those. He will be able to rebuild and be able to have a really robust army. But High Templar are now on the way, and we have another harassing force being warped in towards the pocket.
Yeah, good little Zealot warp in here should be able to be dealt with by these lurkers, but does catch the cancel, doesn't catch the burrow though, so minimizes the damage, but still don't really want to be taking that damage at all.
Yeah, we can't afford these losses here if we are Lambo. He's actually making more lurkers. I don't know if this is where we should be spending our money, but he's making more lurkers regardless. He really wants a supportive ground army for his Corruptors. I just worry he doesn't have enough Corruptors overall. To be fair, we haven't really seen what the carrier count is looking like, but if it's too high, the Corruptors that he have will not be enough.
Yeah, and there we go. We just hit 10 more Corruptors being started up here, so Lambo trying to progress towards an army that can deal with what's coming his way, but we do see Zoun just putting the finishing touches on his army here, getting that mothership, getting some immortals as well as Storm on the way, so just trying to find that perfect golden armada to move out with.
Yeah, the -400. We got Void Rays coming out, Immortals as well. It's going to come down to whether Zoun can keep up with this army as Lambo is headed towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Oh!
Yeah, we do see those lurkers being burrowed. Massive revelation going to be spotting out all of those. Couple feedbacks on the Vipers as well, but not really wanting to venture too close to them lest anything be pulled in and taken out by this huge field of lurkers.
Exactly. He's going to be very careful with how he maneuvers his army. Looks like Zoun is going to be able to rotate over and have the support of his static defense. There we go. Shield battery overcharge is popped, and Zoun can be a little bit adventurous here. Does get a feedback on the Viper.
Yeah, nice feedback there. Does look like he's going to be taking out most of the Vipers. I think he was just waiting for his mothership as well, and here it is.
Yeah, he's got options if he wants. He can try and slip the mothership in towards the pocket base and go for a massive recall, as it looks like the bottom left-hand Nexus is going to be going down.
That bottom right hatchery for Lambo is about as safe could be. Looks like upwards of 15 spines there defending.
Mate, yeah, he heard about Vindicta with his 3 helmets, mate, and Lamb's like, mate, I'll do you one better. I'll put 5 on my head, mate. Let's go. Oh my god. So yeah, there's no way that his head will get penetrated. But what about some other areas of the map? We still have that mothership. I believe it is currently with the main army. Zealot Rumbai is going to be pulling him apart a little bit as Zoun moves through the center of the map.
Yeah, you do of course have the option with the mothership for an offensive recall, but yeah, it looks like we're just going to have a bit of chaos being caused by these Zealots. Not sure if that queen's going to be able to go down, but we do have this army of snowballs, the massive amount of Archons heading on in. They are pretty tanky, but that is 8 lurkers. Not many things that can deal with that.
Yeah, exactly. We have a zoning storm here. It gets thrown down as a couple of stack defense structures get taken out here. Zoun just kind of poking and prodding where he can, just threatening a rotation, threatening a big commitment. Meanwhile, Lambo finally works on his second spire so we can start on those double upgrades.
Yeah, there we go. We have Pathogen Glands on the way, a couple extra Vipers as well. So it does look like we're going to be going into that full late game army that Lambo was such an expert with, of course, when we were in that meta where we did have the rush to the late game air army pretty much every game.
Every game, Boppy. At the same time, looks like we have a little bit of a run by. Oh, nah, there are cannons here in position. The goal base is not going to be taken by the Zerg player. It is still up for contention. Meanwhile, a couple of yoinks come in, and ooh, 2 Archons get sniped. Not bad at all.
Yeah, 2 Archons taken out. We'll be interested to see what Zoun chooses to replace those with. Does look like he's got a few more carriers on the way, as well as a Dark Shrine and some extra gateways. So he's getting himself prepared for that DT and Blink Stalker Remax if he does need to do that.
Yeah, I do worry for Lambo though, because I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the creep is being cleared up here. Zoun is just dominating the map control right now. Lambo just barely having creep connecting his bases.
Yeah, if Zoun can use this map control to get himself the gold, that'll be a really significant base to pick up. It is, of course, the one dividing base, asymmetrical map that we have here, and looks like the Spine Forest is going to be put to work here. Nice zoning storm as well on all of those lurkers.
Oh my god, the zoning storm is just an amazing storm. As it does connect with all these lurkers, the hatchery is going to be going down. And this is what I was worried about. Because of the lack of creep spread in the middle of the map, Lambo actually didn't see the rotation. He didn't see where the army was maneuvering to, and he wasn't able to get here towards the bottom right-hand corner in time.
Yeah, that key base will be taken out here for Lambo. Zoun finding himself in a pretty comfortable position now. We'll just head on back home, looking to defend a little bit now that he's up on bases. I like this decision, and does have the DT Shrine on the way as well if he wants to get some harassment.
Yeah, exactly. I do appreciate that he's also refining his army. We have a greater spire on the way, so we should be seeing kind of a transition out of lurkers and into broodlords as time goes on. We should be committing a little bit more to that kind of composition overall. Meanwhile, Jesus, 3 more Stargates are on the way for Zoun, and I'm really waiting for the moment where he feels confident enough to take the gold.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think the next big fight here is going to be for that gold base.
Yeah, it really should be, as we have a couple of changes here towards the north. There we go. Zoun is sending a probe in that direction to try and expand towards that 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, he's going to be rotating over as well, revealing his army. Lambo does spot this, by the way, but oh my god, a lot of lurkers are being caught out.
Yeah, a little bit of a lurker run by here does get caught out for Lambo. And he doesn't have the greatest gas bank ever here, especially with that bottom right-hand base still being re-established. I do worry for him if he loses too much all at once. He might not be able to replenish it.
Yeah, he did make a wave of broodlords just earlier, so he has enough anti-ground, but does he have enough anti-air? That is the real question.
Yeah, there we go. That first lurker going to be going down. We do see a rotation coming out from Lambo. Just going to be avoiding the heftiest parts of Lambo's army, though.
Yeah, but a large amounts of queens and creep gets cleared up once again. It looks like we see a couple of yoinks, but there's no follow-up. There we go. We have 2 more yoinks here, and the broodlords have been revealed.
There we go. Broodlords are revealed. Those disruptors will be going down. We do see immediately, it looks like that Tempest upgrade being researched, so maybe Tempest on the horizon here for Zoun to help deal with the broodlords.
Yeah, exactly. He responds immediately. At the same time, he once again just outpaces and outmaneuvers Lambo. The hatchery gets completely annihilated immediately.
Yeah, and it looks like Zoun actually wants to take this fight. We'll be throwing it down that time warp. Throws down a second one as well, and massive storms on the Corruptors.
Yeah, I was waiting for the storms, and there they are. But is it really going to be enough here? It looks like every High Templar just went down to the lurkers.
That's right, and all the interceptors went down as well. Looks like Zoun a little bit slow to realize that was the case, and the Parabomb as well, very effective there for Lambo. Might have even flown in one of his Parabombed units to help take out all those interceptors.
Yeah, it looks like Zoun was paying attention to his DTs, not so much to his carrier army. We see a transition into ground toss into all these Blink Stalkers, but there are enough lurkers to deal with that.
Yeah, absolutely. He just wasn't really able to break down that lurker count properly, and there is no recall for these stalkers either. They are going to be going down, and they're very expensive.
Yeah, Zoun being a little bit wasteful here, throws away all those stalkers. We see another Zealot run by being sent out across the map as well. He wants to buy time, but it looks like the goal base is going to be denied.
Yeah, lower gold base going to be going down, and if Lambo can take that for himself, he's going to put himself in a good position. But we do see the supply for Lambo is starting to plummet. He doesn't have many workers at all. He is finding himself almost in an all-in position with this Lurker Broodlord army.
Yeah, Lambo is broke right now, but he catches a bunch of transferring workers there. So likewise, Zoun is also going to be taking a big hit to his economy, but here come those carriers. This time they have replenished their carriers, their interceptors.
Yeah, absolutely. The second wave is going to be coming on through, and is Lambo going to have what it takes to deal with it? He was quite effective dealing with that first wave, but his economy's never really been that strong in this game.
It really hasn't, and the Greater Spire just got sniped. So what you see is what you get. We shouldn't be seeing any Broodlords until the Greater Spire gets rebuilt. We're going to be relying on Corruptor Lurker instead.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see that Lambo really struggling to get that gas income going as well. Is pretty significantly behind in that regard, as Zoun is looking to reestablish that gold base.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lambo's doing a good job at just rebuilding here because Zoun has kind of given him a little bit of room to breathe. He is slowly remaxing, slowly working on a greater army here. But the reality is that the gold base is being taken under control of the Protoss, and Lambo cannot allow that to happen.
Yeah, he can't allow that to happen, but what can he really do about it? It looks like he is going to slowly start to creep forward. These lurkers, these broodlords lay siege to that, but the army of Zoun is pretty terrifying still.
It really is. He's going to be coming in from the north. This is spotted by the overseers of Lambo, by the way, but does he have enough to really contend against this? He's got a couple of infestors. He's got some vipers as well. It looks like Zoun has peeled off his zealots to go for a run by.
Yeah, there we go. Zoun been really good with these run-bys, just sending zealots, sending DTs all the time.
Ooh.
Takes out the base as well here for Lambo, and Lambo's being forced into such a terrible position here. I think he's just going to pull the trigger.
His army's being split apart right now. The lurkers are left exposed. Here come the carriers and the storm, and it looks like the anti-ground army of Lambo is being completely cleaned up.
Oh my goodness, his parabombs are doing huge damage to the carriers, but the Corruptors is not really able to clean everything up, and GG is called.
GG gets called in the end. That one Archon, there was only one Archon underneath the army, but got a lot of shots off on those Corruptors, and Zoun fights back, tying it up one apiece.
GG, and one apiece as we go into the rest of this bracket. We do have ByuN versus RagnaroK coming up now as well. That's a massive match, really a GSL quality match that we had there.
It really is. Do we all have spinning wheels?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Oh my god. But yeah, we are going to be getting into that TVZ ByuN versus RagnaroK, as you're saying. Very high quality match. Oh, we can't wait to dive in. Hopefully the internet of our lovely WTL admins comes back and we're able to jump into it.
Oh, you can wait to dive in, Poppy. You have to.
Oh, no. I don't want to wait, Poppy. I want it now. Yeah, there we go. As the stream does now come back, and oh boy, we're gonna have another clash of styles here. I feel like both RagnaroK and ByuN very stylistic in their own right.
Yeah, absolutely. Both aggressive players as well. So I think this really will just come down to who gets their own way when it comes to the openers, especially.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we see ByuN being hyper aggressive with drop play, with his overall marine control and marine micro. We see RagnaroK being very aggressive with his overall builds, you know, with his certain timing attacks, whether it's roaches, whether it's swarm host, whether it's Ling Bane. Yeah. I always do appreciate watching RagnaroK, not necessarily to learn, but just for entertainment value.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Gumiho. But I think you actually try and emulate Gumiho in a way, so I don't know if it I don't know if it correlates with you.
Oh no. I don't dare.
Okay. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing how things do turn out in the end. As we do have our players, they are getting set up in the lobbies, and we have ByuN, the big B for ByuN.
Yeah, there we go. So definitely getting that nod in the offensive micro. Very famous for his micro is, of course, ByuN. We see the offense, defense, macro all getting the nod for RagnaroK. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
No.
No?
I think we dock some defense points and we add some strategy or mindset, you know, one or the other. Like, I feel like RagnaroK, I don't know. Wait, what points would you give for someone who destroys the mindset of others?
Mate, Mario took all his mindset points. He said, these are mine now.
True. Smurge, Papi Smurge. As the first map is going to be Data Under the Sea.
Beautiful. We are going to have plenty of room to work with these two players. And ByuN has shown quite a bit on this map. He is more than willing to take it to a late game if that's what he needs to do.
Oh, yeah. If he needs to late game, he will late game. I don't know if that's what we're going to be seeing. We'll see. I don't know if RagnaroK is really one to follow that mantra. I feel like he wants to end the game in the mid game more often than not. So we'll see how the games will progress. We'll see what kind of wild builds we have before us.
Yes, here we go in the bottom top right-hand corner. This is going to be Shopify Rebellion's ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Data C, we have representing Alpha X, RagnaroK.
Ooh. That's not his space.
We see a hatch first from RagnaroK, but not where you were expected to be. And this is what I'm talking about, Papi. He's crazy. He is just always looking to make you uncomfortable. The opponent, not necessarily maybe the viewer as well. But RagnaroK is all about just throwing a wrench in the works. He's going for a hatch pool opener here. I don't know if he's really designing this to be too aggressive, but forcing the high ground CC.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like he hasn't quite thrown that down on center, but he hasn't really thrown it down on the right side of the map. I think that's the least of his issues there, as we do see ByuN is going to be going for 2 racks gasless.
Oh my god.
So this is going to be a CC first 3 racks. This is something that I've seen Dream do before. I haven't seen ByuN do it before, and I have to wonder if it's a reaction to the hatch block.
I imagine so. He's going to have a lot of Marines to work with to push down this ramp and regain control of his natural. There we go. He throws out the bunker just in time before the creep covers that location. Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go. And we will be able to make Marines one at a time out of this, so we should be able to get ourselves into a pretty good Marine count, but definitely gambling a little bit that RagnaroK isn't going to be going too heavily into roaches. I do think he'd be in a little bit of trouble here if he was.
Yeah, I think ByuN is just reading this quite well, recognizing that RagnaroK, he isn't quite going for that. He just is trying to get out some queens, spread some creep, and just be as annoying as possible.
Yeah, but there we go. We will have the SCVs coming on down to help put some damage on that hatchery. They will be there to help with the repairs as well once that goes down.
Speaking of, there's that tumor being thrown down for RagnaroK behind the mineral line. So again, he's going to be just as annoying as possible here. We do have a lot of lings on the way though, so we'll see how many SCV kills he can get. Oh,
Yeah, a lot of links coming on through. They are going to be jumping right on top of those Marines as well. Really nice micro from RagnaroK, getting the most surface area that they can on the Marines. But it looks like all of these are going to be going down. But for 4 SCV kills, 5 SCV kills, not bad at all. We do remember, I do recall as well, in some of the GSL group stages, I believe, RagnaroK was using this strategy, just going for a fairly non-committed hatch block just to slow down the opposing Terran and take the map behind it.
oh yeah, exactly. And this is so annoying. This is going to force an unnatural natural, just force more and more scans out of ByuN. We do see the broodlings being microed up into the ramp just to try and get a little bit of scanning information. The creep tumors are being spread as we speak, and oh, thankfully one active tumor is going to be focused down.
Yeah, there we go. ByuN just trying to find all these active tumors before they can start spreading as well. Does it look like he knows at least where all of them are? This is going to be a nice scan here. Should be able to take out, maybe just take out all of them. There we go.
Yeah,
so good bang for his buck.
that was insane. That was a very valued scan. Usually we see at least 2 scans here to clean up the natural base, so ByuN handling this quite well.
Yeah, and there we go. He does finally get his gases. He's getting that sim on the way, so we are going to have this traditional 3 racks push coming on out. Looks like he's going to be going for a bit of a pseudo move out here, trying to see if he can find any overlords out on the map, clear out some map vision for his next push.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to set up here for that stim timing. Meanwhile, RagnaroK, his worker count is quite healthy. You know, he's getting his 3rd hatchery. He's getting his Bailey nest as well. We should be seeing a lair momentarily. There is our lings. As 20 lings are being made. These Marines, though, are venturing quite far out, but they're going to run into that wave of lings.
Yeah, I really don't like this move out from ByuN. Does look like RagnaroK not confident in his number of lings here. Not going to be jumping on top of this, but this could be why this move out is so effective that ByuN is going for. I guess he definitely a better judge of it than I am. Is going to be forcing a lot of lings out of RagnaroK, but he has to make sure these Marines get home, and that's not the easiest task here. As RagnaroK looks to set up a bit of a sandwich here with his newly spawning lings.
Yeah, RagnaroK, he's hunting down these Marines right now. He's looking for them. He knows there's no way they made it back home yet. Where exactly are they? And it looks like he will come across the Marines.
Yeah, there we go. It does back them into a corner, so they're going to be trading pretty well, but not really well enough. There is no stim, of course, and every single Marine are going to be going down there. ByuN really punished for that move out.
Yeah, you can really see it in his camera, the shake of the head for ByuN, as we do see Bailings being morphed in 15 at a time. RagnaroK going for a massive counterattack, and unfortunately, there's no tanks, there's no factory units here to hold the line, just Marines.
Man, I've been 3-raxing all day. I have seen this before.
Yes. Great target firing, but the wall is no longer a wall. The boys are being pulled. The Bailings are rolling on up the ramp in towards this ring. Great target firing.
Yeah, the Banelings just kind of going by themselves up the ramp one by one. Not ideal when they're slow Banes. And RagnaroK, yeah, kind of laughing at himself. That wasn't the best move there. A little bit of a throw towards the end there, really. Did actually get himself into a really good spot before that happened.
Exactly. Just a little bit too greedy with what he wanted. And, oh boy, as a result, ByuN, he's able to catch up, you know, even get ahead economically.
Yeah, absolutely. So this gets him back into a game where he really was in a rough spot.
This usually happens in your ladder games too, right?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Stim is done. We have combat shields on the way and +1 as well. RagnaroK is gonna have to try and pull himself out of this. You know, work towards a 4th base. His lairs on the way, and his Evo chambers as well. But yeah, he's a little bit further behind. I do think he intended to maybe even straight up end the game with his Ling main attack.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see a double drop being sent out here from ByuN. So once again, it's very important with this build, just because you are quite low on workers and making a lot of Marines, it's really important to keep the pressure on and force the Zerg to constantly be making units. If you ever let up on that and you let the drone count get out of control, it's really hard to get back into the game.
It really is. That's why there's so much onus on this double drop to deal some damage. Looks like ByuN is threatening a drop in towards the main base, but no, he lowers towards a 3rd instead. We'll see what he ends up going for here. Do we have enough Ling Bane in position to push this back? It looks like we do.
Yeah, plenty of Ling Bane, but we're just going to force that down there, see if we can open up an angle to the main. Does look like we are going to be abusing this little drop spot here as well, so that's going to be denying some of the mining. Might even take that gas out as well, and does mean that we are safe to unload in the main as well.
Oh, exactly. And it's only Lings here, no banelings. So once again, ByuN trading so incredibly well. Force the whole pickup. Drops down towards the third.
Ah, my eyes are lighting up. You can't see it, but I'm
Uh,
loving this. I'm definitely going to be doing a bit of this.
What can you do, Bobby? We have another double jump headed across the map. This one with some tanks towards that fourth base as well. And this first drop just still hasn't even been dealt with.
Yeah, we have a little nook there behind the fifth next to the fourth where those tanks can be dropped. It looks like ByuN going to be making a beeline for that.
Oh.
Or just dropping, right next to this building up fourth, hopefully unnoticed. And yeah, it does look like he did manage to get in there without being spotted. So should be able to get a cancel here.
Yeah, I should be seeing it cancel. There's no way for RagnaroK to really hold on to this. The Ling Bane is coming on forward. Maybe being a little bit greedy here. It looks like he wants to save it.
Yeah, there we go. But all of these banelings almost going to be... wow, what an insane on siege. I can't believe he got the tanks out of there.
The tanks both survive. They leapfrog over across the cliff to safety to once again lay siege upon the Ling Bane. The double drop in between the bases still has not been dealt with, and that hatchery finishes, but is very close to going down. The fourth, I mean.
Yeah, it's the tank spot I was talking about. As we do see ByuN just doing so much with so little here. We are going to be having Liberators being rallied on in after that. But it does look like we just missed that fight on the bottom right-hand corner. Looks like everything was able to be cleaned up there for RagnaroK.
Yeah, exactly. The tanks finally do get cleaned up. The fourth base has been saved. This third, the hatchery is getting quite low. At a certain point, RagnaroK should be pulling the trigger here to try and clean this up. But oh my god, ByuN is rallying everything towards that fourth. He wants it, mate. He got so low earlier. He wants to finish it off.
Yeah, there we go. Going to be diving straight on in there. Catches a little bit of a weak moment here for RagnaroK before those roaches and ravages get picked up, but looks like the focus fire not quite there. He's going to open up an angle for these Liberators, though.
Oh my god, Liberator sieges up. The Queen goes out immediately. We have a couple of files here connecting with the Liberator, and it does take it down in the end, but the third base, it's dead, mate. He actually got it. Wow.
There we go, ByuN. Finally elevatoring down those Marines that were on the ledge. Looks like this Liberator as well going to be putting in a lot of work. There's really not that many Queens here for RagnaroK.
There really is not.
Oh,
and
no.
oh my god, the Queen waddles back in range. Queen, what are you doing? Ah.
Queen goes back in range. Spore is able to take out that Liberator as well, though, so that main mining will be back and going. But looks like for RagnaroK, he is in a terrible spot right now. He's only got 3 bases, and he is really having to fight to hold on to them.
He really is. His third base is now deep in the red. ByuN just pulling him on par right now. Any kind of advantage that RagnaroK once had is long gone. We even have 2-2 on the horizon. The drops, they just don't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be seeing a lot of these units going down. We do see a couple bios going down as well, just to try to take out that last medevac that is pretty doomed there with the Queens. But it looks like ByuN just being relentless with these constant drops, and he's been able to find so much damage with them despite not being so heavily committed.
He really has, and it looks like he may even be able to deny that fourth base once again from RagnaroK. He's trying desperately to take it. Double drop does go straight into the main base. The spores were cleaned up earlier, so they're not in position to deny this, and he's even going for the gas geyser. Lings are here in position, though. They're going to be able to force this back.
Yeah, pretty decent trades there for ByuN, only losing, I think it's 4 Marines there for most of the Lings of RagnaroK, and especially with RagnaroK just down on 3 bases here, ByuN's going to be more than happy to just try to trade out units wherever he can and weaken up the defenses of RagnaroK for his eventual max out 2-2 push.
Oh my god, and we even see a supply block coming out from RagnaroK. Oh my god, 6 Overlords on the way. RagnaroK's going to be making anything for quite some time here, and really we're looking for a miracle engagement where maybe the Baneling connections, the bios as well, there is still potential for a good fight from RagnaroK, but really he's hoping for ByuN to maybe misstep and not be looking at a critical moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Both players really pressing each other to the limits here as we do see ByuN clearing up the last of this creep over here by the 4th base. I'd be able to see if he can snipe out some of these Banes, but does get the connections against the Marines there. Liberator going to be pushing on in while we get another force assembled to push on the 3rd. And I am a little bit worried here for RagnaroK. I just don't think that he has enough to deal with this push that's coming towards the 3rd here.
Yeah, this may be the game-ending push at the 4th base. Liberator is going to be drawing away the attention of RagnaroK's army. Hatchery is incredibly low.
Ooh.
The Lings are coming in a little bit too soon.
Yeah, good focus fire on the banelings as well from the tanks. We'll be taking all of those out. We dodge
Oh.
out the biles there, and there is just nothing here to buffer for these Marines. GG is called. ByuN with a powerful response to the proxy hatch.
Look at that stoic pose. He just unfazed there, takes the win. He was in a little bit of trouble earlier on, but we saw it ourselves when RagnaroK went for the Ling Bane bust, threw away the majority of his Banelings, and with that threw away that lead that he had.
Yeah, exactly. So does look like ByuN just able to pull water from stone there with his multi-prong, with his harass, and never really let up on the advantage that he gained himself.
Yeah, exactly. We could see that kind of drop location in between the triangular third and the main base was disgusting. ByuN did so much damage there, even eventually killing that third hatchery. And I think a lot of that did come down to the lack of queens that RagnaroK made. It's not really something that he was really focusing on. He only had enough to inject his bases, and that is it. So because of that, he just didn't have enough kind of range damage to deal and force that drop back.
Yeah, absolutely. Just really didn't have enough to deal with what was going on there, and very well recognized by ByuN as well, just to take advantage of that. But RagnaroK does get his map pick for the second map, and we're going to be going to Cosmic Sapphire.
Oh yeah, quite a large map indeed. We shouldn't be seeing RagnaroK going for a proxy hatchery again. I'll be shocked if we see that 2 games in a row. But just because we see a large map doesn't mean that RagnaroK is going to be looking to go for the late game. He is crazy, Papi. He's unpredictable. He's RagnaroK.
Crazy puppy.
Crazy. What should I order for Marcus?
Oh, a chicken deluxe.
There's an El Maco, Papi. It's an El Maco. That's the food of my people.
Marco. As we do have in the top left-hand corner of the map for Shopify Rebellion, a ByuN.
Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have representing Alpha X. It is, oh my god, RagnaroK.
Acts like you've never seen a RagnaroK before.
No, he went for, what was that? Was that a 13-14? I didn't quite catch an eye on when the gas was taken, but that was a giga-fast gas, by the way. And pool. Maybe the 14-14.
I'm surprised this isn't being paired with a proxy hatch, actually. It kind of looks like it's going to be a Ravager push.
Yeah, it really does. But he doesn't have a drone out of the map for a hatchery to be thrown down. ByuN also not quite going for an SCV scout yet either. So I'm really curious to see what he goes for, and if he, I mean, he should throw down a Roach one, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. It could be a Bane Bust as well.
That'd be crazy. It's getting link speed. He pulled out of gas.
We do have link speed. We did fully pull out of gas as well. This is a very odd opening. It does look like it kind of feels like he's crippled himself pretty heavily economically.
Yeah, I think he's going for a link flood. He's making nothing but links right now. He has 15 drones, and I don't think he's going to be making any more.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. We have the hatch going down behind it. Every unit has been a link so far, and it looks like he does have a pretty decent read, because I believe ByuN is once again going for the CC first 2-on-1. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going to have little units. What's important is that there is no Reaper to scatter across the map or an SCV. So ByuN, I believe, is completely in the dark right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to have to be dealing with this with 2 to 3 Marines. If RagnaroK does decide to mine a bit more gas thrown out of Bailey Nest, I think that would be very effective here. But looks like he's just going to be using those links to achieve a little bit of map control. And I actually think, in a way, he's been hard countered here, because not only did ByuN get the spawn where his add-ons are hidden, but because he's gone CC first, he can just pick this base up. Like, it's not a big deal.
He can just lift, Papi. And RagnaroK is droning, by the way, so the lings are going to flood on in. The wall is a wall. There are no units, but we should be seeing a repair here. A repair long enough for these Marines to come out, and ByuN should be fine.
Yeah, there we go. You just pick up the CC, bring it back into the main. This is going to throw those timings off just a little bit, but definitely not enough to ruin anything here, as we do see Stim getting started up. We see the factory on the way as well, so we are going to be looking to go for that 2-on-1 double drop build.
Yeah, and again, this was such a peculiar opener from RagnaroK. I mean, again, like if we saw a more standard opener, then I'm sure they would have been able to come in, maybe even delay the CC, maybe get a couple more drone kills and then kill a Reaper and whatnot. But yeah, not the most amazing opener from RagnaroK.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see a second wall there as well being thrown down for ByuN, kind of making a bit of an airlock there. That's really cool.
That is really aesthetically pleasing. You love to see it with that second depot behind the first. So he is prepared for a Bane bust. At the same time, he hasn't really slowed down too much. You know, the starport's on the way. He should be going for a medevac, should be going for a drop. And when the drop gets across the map, I really worry for RagnaroK.
Yeah, it does look like ByuN thinks this is going to be a Bane bust, which I can understand. It's a very early link speed.
It really is. So, you know, maybe RagnaroK winning out on some of the mind games here. ByuN should be expanding soon. I believe he is now getting ready for it. There we go. The Marines, they move down the ramp. They're going to be able to force the Lings back, and he can finally take his natural.
Yeah, ByuN's not in a bad spot here. I think he can even just go straight across the map with this double drop, and RagnaroK is going to have to prepare for this now because this is going to hit hard.
Well, the problem is that RagnaroK, his queen count isn't amazing right now. Same with his Lings. He's trying to drone up as best he can to make up for the deficit that he once had. I do worry that he's just going to be pulled apart here. Doesn't have a Bailey Nest either, but we'll see. We'll see like what kind of timing ByuN goes for. Yeah, he's just going, mate.
Yeah, there we go. ByuN's going to be poking out, checking around that tower to see if there are any overlords that will catch out this move out, but we're going to have a very crisp timing on this 2-on-1. Should be hitting well before 5:10, so very nice timing there. Looks to drop out of range, but is spotted by this Ling, and that does mean that RagnaroK is going to be able to get underneath these medevacs.
Yeah, we can't drop here if we are ByuN. RagnaroK just made a swell of Lings as well. We have a third drop moving out, by the way, to meet up with the two in the middle of the map. And so far, RagnaroK's done a great job at deterring this push, but he's not going to stop it.
Yeah, and this is where things can get pretty crazy as well. We do see, unfortunately, a couple Marines going to be going down, but once that triple boost is ready, we can see ByuN go straight into the main. We have a lair, we have a Bane Nest, all on the way for RagnaroK, but it does look like ByuN is going to be able to get that drop off, and this is a lot of pressure that's being lined up for that third. This is, very strong timing coming out from ByuN.
It really is, but the queens are in position. I believe we have 5 to 6 queens here on top of that ramp alongside all of those Lings, so he should be able to hold on for the time being. I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to how good that Widowmine shot is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. We just see him just pop on over into that main as well. This is why the triangle can be so easy to abuse when you do go for these 2-on-1 builds. We see a lot of drones going down. The reaction a little bit slow for RagnaroK here. The Bane Nest is in trouble as well.
Oh my god, and he's going to get the Bailey Nest!
Yeah, the Bane Nest goes down. We do pick up Get On out of here. This triangle base, such a pest to deal with. And RagnaroK brought all these queens into the main.
We brought them into the main. They're not here at the third base. RagnaroK once again for the second game in a row is being pulled apart. He does have a lot of Lings to deal with this, but again, 0 Banelings. The Bailey Nest only just now being rebuilt.
Yeah, nice pick up by ByuN as well. So all that damage for 4 Marines, I believe it was, that went down. That's very nice trades, of course.
It really is, and there's no counterattack potential either because of the lack of Bailey Nest. We have an Evo Chamber on the way to try and work on our upgrades. Fourth base being thrown down here, but ByuN is ahead in the workers. He's going to be taking his third.
There we go, third on the way being landed. We do have 1-1 on the way as well, so everything's lined up really nicely here for ByuN, as we do see that Bane Nest was made. The Bane speed on the way as well. Looks like RagnaroK did preempt that going down, so he is prepared. Nice positioning on that tank as well by ByuN.
Yeah, the positioning is quite good here to try and cover that third base. But he's gonna be working towards that 1-1 timing. The creep spread isn't looking too bad for RagnaroK at his third base. You know, he's gonna have a little bit of forewarning ahead of time, and there we go. He's throwing down a couple more tumors here to really solidify this position. But is it going to be enough? Because it looks like ByuN, he's splitting up his army.
Yeah, there we go. ByuN going to be making 2 forces here, trying to, just get that multi-prong going once again that he was so effective within that last game. Looks like we are missing a medevac here on the left, but with mines on the way as well. This is the kind of pressure that we can just put on for the rest of the game.
Oh, it really is. The target firing on the Bailings!
Yeah, ByuN just doing ByuN things, showing why he is one of the best micro players in the world.
Yeah, he really is. And now the rest of the army is going to be coming over to reinforce as well. RagnaroK is still on the back foot, by the way. A couple of overlords are going to be caught out here, going to be drawing away the attention for RagnaroK to try and get ready for maybe even a drop into the main base. If the main army is pushing towards the lower half of the map.
Yeah, this is feeling very reminiscent of the Clem games that we casted on this map, where he was able to just play ByuN and just keep constant pressure on, never letting the creep ever really get that far out from the bases.
Exactly, and we'll see if he can replicate that. We do. Oh my god! The medevac does get sniped out of the sky by those queens, so again, great defense from RagnaroK so far. Great way to come back in this game and try and get some value. The main army's pushing on forward. He's trying to focus down that hatchery, but no, RagnaroK gets here in time.
Yeah, mine not going to be able to get that shot off either. Does look like both of those going to be going down. We do start to see Hydra's getting mixed into the comp here for RagnaroK, and he is starting to stabilize.
Yeah, exactly. You know, his work account's not looking too bad. You know, he's been able to hold on to his hatcheries as well. His creep threat is lacking towards the left-hand side of the map, so I do worry about that.
There we go. Of course, old habits die hard for ByuN. It is something that he has worked on over the past few years, but occasionally we see it pop up again every now and then. That +2 armor quite far ahead of the +2 attack.
Quite a little bit. Ooh, a lot of Marauders are being caught out here. Another great fight, but I spoke too soon.
I did not see that mine.
Didn't see it either.
That was insane. I literally didn't see that mine at all.
The mine goes down. Oh my god, that's a second kill, not a cancel on that 6 o'clock base as well. The target firing is too good. The Banelings get targeted down.
Yeah, I mean, ByuN, he has complete disdain for any AoE. It comes, like, Disruptors come out, he just shoots them down. Banelings, he clicks them all. He says, having trouble with AoE, you don't need to do anything other than make Marine, Marauder, Medevac, and just click better.
That's all you gotta do, mate. Marines and Marauders. Man with gun. Anything else, mate, you're tryharding. Oh my god, as we do see ByuN once again reinforcing and pushing in towards the northern portion of the map. A lot of widow mines being set up here. Oh my god, what 8 widow mines. The minefield is going to be insane.
So interesting to see ByuN play this biomine style with the split pushing on both sides. It's not actually something I see him going for super often, but it's really nice to see as we do have a couple of these mines going to be going down. Is the pickup there? It's not needed. Beautiful micro from ByuN, controlling these fights so well.
Yeah, he pulls back. The majority of the Ling Bane does go down. Only a handful of Banelings remaining here. The tanks do siege up. Banelings do get some decent connections, but at the same time, the drop towards the south gets another kill on that hatchery.
Yeah, absolutely. And RagnaroK with this Lingbane style is really struggling for lava as all these bases keep going down.
He really is. Looks like finally he's going to be able to take control of this area outside his 4th base. Widowmine Show gets baited out, but the drop towards the south is not stopping. He's going to be trying to focus down this this Evo Chamber +2 does finish up in time.
Yeah, there we go. The Evo Chamber going to be going down. We do see once again armor on the way for ByuN. And he is going to be setting up on this right side. It does feel like with all the momentum on his side, eventually one of these waves is going to be too much, and it's looking like we are almost there. The first couple of lurkers are going to be coming on out, though.
Yeah, shout out to the Lairtech Lunkers. You know, they do burrow in time. They're going to get a lot of value. Don't get us wrong, but they're only 2, and they get focused down.
There we go. One of those guys get focused down. We get pretty good Bane connections for RagnaroK.
Exactly. He's fighting for his life right now, but how much harder can he really fight? We need another scan. There it is. Only 2 lurkers remaining. Now 1 lurker, and now none.
It's like one of our games, like.
Oh, it's me, Papi. I'm dying.
As we do see, G is called, and ByuN gonna be taking the win.
Wow, GG, well played. ByuN in a beautiful display there in both games. In game number 1, you know, having a bit of a comeback story, but in game number 2 here, just rolling the dice a little bit, or at least RagnaroK rolled the dice, didn't quite work out for him, and we saw how things snowballed so quickly. The double drop, the 2-1-1 timing of ByuN did so much damage early on, killing over 10 workers at the start of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. That 2-on-1 was extremely effective, and it all stemmed off the defense of the initial Ling pressure of RagnaroK. And
Mhm.
I have to wonder exactly what was intended for that Ling pressure. I don't know if it's just that the CC first countered it so hard, but it did look like it was a lot of commitment to get the speed that early and not much payoff.
Yeah, I think we were all really shocked at the choice. We're like, is it going to be a Bane Bust? Is it going to be a Roach Warren? It's like, oh, it's just Link Speed. Then he pulls out. It's like, is this really the wisest choice? You know, Terrans, they have walls and Links can't really do anything about them.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm curious if maybe it was a Rax expand, then maybe things would line up a little bit better to deal a little bit more economic damage. Yeah, just an unfortunate start for Ragnarok.
Yeah, absolutely. But ByuN with a very dominating 2-0 and puts himself into a great, puts Shopify Rebellion, sorry, into a great spot as we do have a clash of two very popular Protoss players.
Yeah, I feel like Shopify need to be in a good position for this because Astrea has been on fire. He's really solidified himself as one of the best players in all of the Americas. And in World Team League, he's been getting some really good results.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a bit of a kingpin when it comes to Alpha X. And I do have to point out as well the standings that we are at currently. Alpha X here at 3rd, Shopify at 6th. So Shopify does really want to win this one if they're going to propel themselves up that leaderboard, start to threaten for the 3rd, 4th, 5th places. And Alpha X, meanwhile, they're actually in contention for 1st place here potentially.
Yeah, like there's a world where even Shopify Rebellion don't make it to the playoffs. Like if things don't go their way here and next week as well, then they can be relegated to 8th place depending on how other teams do. So a lot is riding on this match here for Shopify Rebellion. They need this win to secure their spot in those playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this is a very fascinating PvP that we do have coming up here. So Harstem definitely wanted to go more for a macro-based play. Does like to adapt to his opponents a little bit, try to push it into that Stalker Disruptor mid to late game. Astrea, a very flexible player, a very creative player as well.
Yeah, because that's a kind way of saying that this guy can be cheesy as hell.
Both
He can,
ways.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
He can be hyper aggressive, he can be hyper defensive, be very macro oriented. It can be really difficult to get a read on what he's doing. So scouting is going to be king here in this PvP.
Yeah, Astrea definitely capable of some hyper greed plays as well if you give him the room to do so. He is also one to kind of goes by the max packs mantra of DT usage, which is just use them at any time, but just make it count when you do.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why Astrea is always a lot of fun to watch as well. You never know what you're quite going to get with him. And that can also make him, unpredictable as well, when it comes to placing your bets. I believe predictions will be open soon once we get our players ready. So get ready, people in the chat. Who are you going to put your money behind? Europe or America?
Yes, as I'll be right back. Sorry, I just gotta do something real quick.
Oh, yeah, he's got some more Maccas knocking on the door. Oh god. So yeah, it looks like the players just getting their lobbies, getting ready to getting set up and ready to go. When it comes to a PvP, some of this may come down to the server selection as well. I believe one game will be on US East and the other will be on Europe for the most balanced of performances here, as we see our hexagons being set up. Ooh, apparently Harstem with the mindset of 9. I think we said this last week. I think Harstem is the highest mindset Protoss player in the entire league. I don't think a 10 exists, and I think 9 is the most we've seen. He's capped out, mate. His brain, it's massive. So we're also having a gander as the hexagon of Astrea as well. We're getting a couple of nods in defense, micro, strategy, and macro. Oh my god. Not as much in offense and mindset. I don't know if I completely agree with that. I do think that props need to be given for the offensive strategies of Astrea. But at least his strategy overall is, they give a nod to him there as well, at least. As game number 1 is going to be on Cosmic Sapphire, and I just realized this. Harstem. He's got 69 points. Nice. Ay, ay, ay. He's ready to go. He's got that magic number. He is considered to be rated a little bit lower overall compared to Astrea, and I think we'd probably agree with that, but we'll see how things go. It's spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire. We have representing Shopify Rebellion, Harstem.
Rufus Judy is real. He likes to throw up on my cup.
And in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic, representing Alpha X, Astrea. You say that as if like he likes it. He enjoys it. Like,
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah. So it's that time of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just likes to do it when I'm casting. But here we go. We do have both players going for that high ground expand. So this is something a little bit unusual, which is a bit weird to say because it absolutely wouldn't have been about a year ago. Both of these players do want to play things a little bit safer. Harstem has shown time and time again that in this one gate meta, he does actually like to just play 2 gate, and if his opponent is going 1 gate, he'll just make 1 or 2 gateway units and expand early himself. So he's quite flexible when it comes to his 2 gate openers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we'll really kind of see that come to fruition if we do end up on a map that does have a ramp at the natural, and we'll most likely see Harstem still go for a 2-gate opener anyway. So yeah, that's kind of his bread and butter. It's kind of what he's known for, as you do have a probe hidden towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map.
Yeah, this is quite
Ooh.
interesting. This is something that I would have expected Astrea to do, and I don't know if Harstem's himself expecting Astrea to do that and go for the gold base, but it looks like both players actually trying to sneak off some probes into the corner. Harstem will be throwing down a Stargate of all things here.
Wow, and an interesting location as well. It's not entirely close, and because of that, the likelihood of this Stargate being scattered is pretty low. But yeah, Harstem starting off as the aggressor.
Absolutely. We do see a couple stalkers going to be coming out for him as well. Does look like he's trying to fake something else out, maybe with this hidden Stargate. It's a very interesting location to have that in.
Oh boy, exactly. And we'll see if Astrea is going to be able to catch wind of this, as he himself has a probe over just, again, scanning the edges of the map. Doesn't really intend to be too aggressive himself as he goes for that Twilight Council.
It does look like the Twilight Council going for Astrea. Possibly going to be a DT follow-up. I'm not really sure what the go is here with that. Both players going to be throwing down the Nexus at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see how these two match up with each other. Blink is going to be started here for Astrea. So maybe just looking to play things out a little bit more standard. Is not quite sure what Harstem is going for here.
Yeah, exactly. Do you see an Adept trying to sneak into the main base? That the wall is indeed a wall. The first Oracle is going to be zooming out for Harstem, head towards the main base. And is Astrea prepared for this? He wasn't able to get a full scout of the main, so there could be an Oracle coming out regardless. And it looks like he should have his Stalkers in position.
Yeah, it does look like we're actually going to be finishing up that shield battery as well. So maybe just a small mistake coming out there from Harstem, as he was controlling his Oracle at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like he did run into some Stalkers, so he hasn't really committed to a mineral line yet. He's kind of dancing around trying to find a way, and forced to kill his own shield battery.
Yeah, oh, no! And the timing doesn't quite work out, because here comes this Adept. He's going to be getting full scout. Scout's most importantly what's missing, and that is any tech to speak of. That Twilight Council is going down. It's going down very late. It's going to make Astrea confident, of course, that there isn't DTs. But yeah, a little bit of a confusing opening all around coming out from Harstem, and it's going to be up to Astrea to adjust to that.
Yeah, and to be fair, this opener hasn't really done too much here. Like, again, like the Oracle keeps trying to dip in, but Astrea is in position. The Oracle hasn't paid for itself yet. Astrea recognizing that he should have a big window where he has Blink and Harstem does not.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely has the opportunity to put on a little bit of pressure here, and we do see a small move out here as those two Oracles are going to be keeping him home for a moment.
Yeah, they're going to be dipping in once again towards the natural base, and it's completely undefended. I say that, a couple of Stalkers are going to blink on forward. 4 probes go down, and the Oracles survive.
Yeah, there you go. Oracle will be surviving. That blink is finished for Astrea. Didn't really get that many more gateways here to take advantage of that. So we're just going to be looking and waiting to see what the next move is going to be for Astrea. Is he going to be looking to take a third, or is he going to be looking to put on a lot of pressure here, as we do see him floating quite a few minerals. So I do feel like that Nexus is quite near in his future.
Oh boy, it is quite near, as Harstem is going to be going to try and upgrade or try and just commit even further towards his Blinkstalker play. He's going for a Forge, I imagine, for +1. As opposed to that, Astrea is going for a faster third base and even going for a Robo.
Yeah, there is that Nexus. Harstem dips back on in with those Oracles, but Astrea is in the main of Harstem, and he is getting a lot of damage. 5 probes go down. We see that recoil completed and gets all the Stalkers out.
Wow, really clutch recall in the end. Harstem just wasn't in position to deny him or even punish him. So 5 probes go down for essentially energy on a Nexus. Harstem is even behind when it comes to his third base timing. The one thing that Harstem has going his way is +1.
Yeah, he has that +1. He has his Oracles just pinning Astrea back as well. So should be looking for Astrea to just leave a couple units back there, which it doesn't look like he's done. There we go. The Stalkers, trying to make up their mind.
Look, they're just a little bit indecisive, okay? They don't know where they want to go. To the main, to the natural, wherever the Oracles seem to be. Harstem just checking the triangular third base. I don't know if he's actually scouted the linear third because these Oracles have been stuck.
Near, far, wherever those Oracles are, my heart will go on.
For you. I don't know.
And for you.
For you. I don't get it. Who's Jack? Who's Jill? And who's the iceberg?
Jill?
What's her name?
I can't remember.
See,
Jack and Jill go up the hill.
They go up the hill. They don't get hit by the iceberg, mate. They survive. They live, puppy.
As we just see, Australia is going to be throwing, Harstem going to be throwing down that DT shrine. So maybe just seeing a little bit of an opening in Astrea. He is lacking a little bit when it does come to that detection. I do think he threw down a Robo Bay recently. Yeah, we do see an observer there actually spotting the Stalker move out.
Oh, does spot it in the end. The Immortals do rotate in time to deny this. Again, Harstem, I want to believe he's spotted that third. I'm just trying to find a way, maybe even in towards the main base, as Harstem is going to be looking to hit a timing here with +1. It is going to be finishing up as, yeah, he's got that Dark Shrine on the way.
I want to believe too, puppy. Wee, wee, wee.
I didn't get the, what was that? What?
I want to believe.
That was not X-Files.
Yeah, I don't know how X-Files goes. It kind of ruins the joke, doesn't it? As we do see these Stalkers going to be moving out, trying to look for a third here. Astrea already going to a fourth.
Yeah, exactly. Both players establishing their fourth base as Harstem rotating over towards the third, looking to try to find a way in, but the shield batteries, the Immortals do meet up. What's important is that we do have a War Prism now for Astrea. He can try and be the aggressor, but he spots the DTs!
And he traps it.
Oh my god!
So nice.
He's crazy. He's cracked, puppy.
Oh. How does the X-Files theme go?
That's X-Files, right? That.
That's letters and numbers.
What do you mean? No, you're doing
like countdown.
Where's your head at, mate? Oh my god.
We do see Astrea. Harstem looking to bait Astrea into those stasis traps, but when it comes to these PvP tricks, all these little tactics, Astrea really wrote the book on these, and he is absolutely not going to be falling for these. We do see both stasis traps. He does just commit the one Stalker too.
Yeah, exactly. He does bait it out in the end. We do see Harstem trying to find a way in here, whether it comes to his DTs, whether it comes to his main army, but every single time Astrea has been able to keep up with him. At the same time, we do see Harstem splitting up his army. He does have a force towards the right-hand side, looking to try and slip on in while Astrea is caught unawares.
Yeah, Harstem actually has managed to find a little bit of a supply lead as well. I'm not really sure when or how that happened because he does have extra bases as well. It just seems like everything has gone slightly smoother for him overall, and I'm not really sure where or when because it felt like Astrea was ahead economically.
Yeah, it did feel that way, but Harstem, throughout his macro, he has been able to overcome that in some way. And as a result, Astrea is a little bit on the back foot. I say a little bit. He is going to be able to harass here with this Prism. We do have a couple of Zealots headed towards the third base. The Prism slips in towards the main. Natural. We do have a cannon.
Yeah, the DT kids are dropped off at school. They will be taking out a few of these probes here. We do see a big Stalker warp in from Harstem that will be forced. And Australia should be able to just get that Prism on out of there. Actually committing one DT there, and the Oracle's going to have to come back for the detection now.
Yeah, at the time there was no detection. 12 workers are going to be going down. More importantly, this does force Harstem all the way back home. This does give some breathing room for Astrea to expand and take a 5th base. His army moves out across the map. We are close to maxed out, but can he deal with all these zealots?
Can he indeed? Australia even has the option to bring that Warp Prism back around and warp in an Archon as well. That should help a lot with the Zealots, but looks like he will be... Oh, beautiful force fields going down there, trapping every single Zealot. That was incredible, actually. Those are just completely stuck there.
Yeah, but at the same time, we have a blink on forward. Both the Immortals get focused down there for a Harstem, so even though the Zealots are having a hard time, they're going to now be getting on top of the army.
Man, Astrea sniped Harstem's observers during that fight as well.
Oh my god, the observers were sniped to the DTs. it's me. I am Max Angel. As the DTs are getting cleaned up across the map, the cannons are going to be paying their weight in gold here. Harstem once again maxes out. Astrea having a bit of a harder time here with his overall army composition.
Yeah, Astrea taking out those observers is just going to be able to leave some in the middle of the map there, and does mean that he can keep an eye on these rotations. These Zealots actually getting a little bit caught out here, and it does look like Astrea is going to be fighting to establish this gold base. I don't think he's going to be able to do so, but does look like he wants to commit to a fight here, and does catch Harstem off guard a little bit. I think some of Harstem's army is missing here.
Yeah, he splits up his army. He's going for a massive counterattack, and that means that his main force is going to be that much weaker. And Astrea, he senses that weakness. He blinks on forward, picks up a couple more units, and he's forced to recall.
We have a lot of Zealots here for Astrea that should be chasing back the Zealots of Harstem. Just going into this full Zealot Stalker war here. But yeah, it does look like Astrea has managed to surround these units, and quite a few of these are going to be going down. Harstem is forced to commit to the fight.
Yeah, at the same time, Harstem also coming in for a surround. So who really surrounded who in the end? Astrea getting caught out of position a little bit here. And does he have detection available? A couple of DTs are mixed in.
Yeah, Astrea's supply really starting to drop here, and doesn't have any Zealots or Archons of his own to deal with Harstem Zealots here.
Yeah, just pure gateway army. Meanwhile, it looks like, yeah, he has to kill that pylon. Is finally going to be establishing a 5th base. I say that he did get the gold up and running, actually. It did survive earlier, and Harstem has not dealt with it.
I think I remember the. I think I remember.
Have you watched X-Files? Do you even know what you're talking about? Why do you do this?
And it's pop culture references.
No, you don't even know it.
Yeah, but I don't need to know it. I'm too cool for that. Screw you.
Oh my god, as you do see a massive commitment here from Harstem. He takes down 20 plus probes. Oh my god. But his army, what about his army?
Made Astrea way too smart for those stasis traps. Does keep track of it. Meanwhile, we see Harstem does split off a bit of a Zealot run by down to the south. He's going to be able to put some damage on this gold base. It will go down before Astrea can get there to defend, but all the Zealots going to be going down here as well. And it does look like Astrea taking a very small advantage in the army supply, but he is pretty significantly down on probes. If Harstem can draw this game out a little bit longer, that should start to pay off for him.
Yeah, Astrea is being starved out. He has been desperately trying to establish a 5th base for the past 5 minutes. He just hasn't been able to do so. He finally is trying to get one towards the north. He's going for these DT run-bys as well. He blinks on forward. He gets us around. He's going to be able to get a kill on this cannon.
Yes, actually reminds me of, I can't remember what... No, it was a PVT that we saw with Astrea where he looked completely dead and he managed to pull it back with blink DTs.
Was it against Cure?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Feels Cure, man. As we do now have a couple of disruptors slipping on in as well. 2 Novas are going to be going off. No major connections, but he does force Astrea back again, just giving Harstem so much more time.
I got this bait's so obvious, surely. Yeah, it does a bait out with the disruptors and the Archon, but I think it's worth it there. We do get 2 disruptors and an Archon. We are going to be able to get back on out of there with most everything. So maybe not an intentional bait. It does look like a pretty sizable stasis trap will be going down. Actually throwing down a disruptor Nova on that stasis while trying to time it out. That's quite neat. I haven't really seen that too many times.
Oh, exactly. But it looks like he wasn't able to time it out in time. The army of Astrea is going to be moving on forward here. And it looks like the 5th base is going to go down again.
Yeah, it does go down again, but meanwhile for Astrea, he does have this DT run by going once again. He's very effective with those. Looks like his attention a little bit split up here. Doesn't want to commit to a fight with disruptors while he can't be watching it. But the base goes down, and Harstem back down to 5 bases. Astrea down to 4 bases with the 5th on the way.
Exactly. You know what? The DTs, they're not done. They're breaking towards the natural base. And is there enough to hold on? It looks like there is. Oh, but can we actually get on top of these disruptors? It looks like with the, oh my god, the power of these oracles. No, we cannot.
Oh, there we go. The Oracles are going to be forcing those DTs to morph into Archons and get on out of there. Does look like as well Astrea going to be zoned out from defending this 5th base. Harstem doing a really good job just constantly denying bases here.
Yeah, I believe that was a kill, not a cancel, by the way. Oh my god, another zoning Nova is going to force Astrea back. He's been doing a great job at all these counterattacks with the DTs, but I feel like with the main army, he's still lacking. He just can't really hold a candle to all these disruptors.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem because I feel like Astrea needs to commit to a push right now. He is down on bases now on the economy. He needs to try to make something happen so he can deny the base of deny some of the bases of Harstem.
Yeah, and really the only thing he can do to make that happen is DT run-bys, and it looks like DTs are once again headed towards the natural base, but I don't think they're really there in numbers. There are only 3 DTs in total. Gonna get some transferring workers, I guess it is something, but the main army's engaging.
Yeah, huge engagement coming down here for Harstem. The threat of the disruptor is just causing Astrea not to be able to fully commit to this fight, and that means that he's getting a lot of his units picked off.
Oh, he really is. And Harstem, he can replace his units. Astrea cannot. He needs to try to go for some more cost-efficient fights. The disruptors are coming in. They're looking to expose themselves, but ooh, picks off a zealot.
Yeah, the rest of those zealots see their friend demolished, thrown to pieces right in front of them. But they stand as stoic as these DTs. Skirting around trying to find some damage. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to find any.
Oh my god, but the disruptors go down to one after another. For a moment, Harstem, he just wasn't looking and his army just plummets.
Yeah, he loses a huge amount of his army here. These Stalkers are in a little bit of danger as well. Looks like he does have plenty of cannons over here at this 5th with that rich gas. I did not even know that there's a rich gas there, actually. Never really seen that side of the map, to be honest.
Hey, can you like stop vetoing Cosmic?
Why? It's awful.
As we do see Harstem pulling apart Astrea. I was about to say that Astrea still has a 5th base because he double expanded, but no, Harstem goes in and punishes that Nexus, and it looks like Astrea is committed to a base trade.
Yeah, Astrea going to be going for that damage. We do have these cannons here. They are going to be going down pretty quickly. Astrea actually managing to slow down the army of Harstem quite a bit, but massive Nova.
Oh, Astrea just wasn't looking when he really needed to. We have another kill on that 5th base. DTs are warped in defensively. It looks like they're going to be able to clean things up. The disruptors are left exposed as well, but the army of Harstem has turned around.
Oh, he might have had potential for a Nova there, but looks like the army is going to get on out of there. Harstem definitely having a little bit of difficulty when it comes to dealing with those defensive DTs, but we see plenty of observers with this army here.
Yeah, we have 3 observers with Harstem's army. He's pushing out across map once again, denying this 5th base. And I feel like at this point, Astrea is running out of money. He's being sucked dry right now. These Archons are doing a lot to these Zealots, don't get us wrong. He's going to be trading a little bit efficiently, but Harstem is focusing them down.
Yeah, absolutely. It does feel like Harstem just managing one time after another to keep the economy down. We do see another massive Nova going down, and I think Astrea is done here.
Yeah, exactly. He had a great start to the game, but overall, he just really struggled when it came to expanding, when it came to keeping up with the aggression of Harstem. GG gets called, and Harstem takes the first game.
There we go. Very clean game coming out from Harstem, and that is going to secure the win for the Shopify Rebellion 4-1. We do, of course, have one more game to play between Harstem and Astrea, but that will just be for map score.
Oh, exactly. And yeah, I mean, overall, Shopify Rebellion, they needed this game to be able to have a good placing overall in World Team League. They needed this series, and they have done it. They've taken it. Oh boy, and I think that secures them in the playoffs, not gonna lie.
Yeah, let me just have a quick squiz. Yeah, so the bottom team, the 7th and 8th team at the moment are on 4 wins overall, and Shopify were on 6, so they can't be below.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, even with these 2 weeks, even if a Team GP or a Team Liquid get 2 wins, I believe with Shopify now moving up to 7 wins with
Yep.
this, I believe they will be safe from that relegation.
Yeah, exactly. But very nice game coming out from there. I really like Harstem. He has kind of his particular formulas for how games work, and it's something that I've really noticed with his games. You can really see what his game plan is very clearly, even more so than with other players, where sometimes he's not quite keeping up on the base count or he's not quite having the same upgrades, but he's always got a step-by-step process to get himself back into the game. And with that one, it was kind of forcing trades and using small splits off small amounts of zealots just to take out bases whenever he was trading armies, and he just did that over and over again, and eventually took out all of Astrea's extra bases and starved him out.
Yeah, it was slow and methodical, and even though there was some great moments for Astrea, like it doesn't matter how great your individual unit control and your counterattacks are, like you run out of money at some point and you just can't keep up macro wise. And that's kind of where Harstem excelled on Cosmic. But now we move on towards a smaller map, a map where aggressive styles and aggressive play maybe have more of an advantage.
A pretty nice score for Harstem too.
That's what I said. Nice.
Yeah, it does look like we are going to be going on to Moondowns. Kind of interesting as well that, yeah, they really give Astrea the nod here. A much higher score than Harstem. I'm not sure if that's something that's been updated throughout the team league, but I would rate these players pretty similarly, actually.
Yeah, they can be pretty comparable to each other. They're both great players in their own respective regions here, and Astrea has been on fire recently. There's a reason why Alpha X is doing so well in WTL. But I can't say the same about their performance here against Shopify. I feel like one of the stronger teams, of course, Shopify has been able to put a stop to that, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance representing Shopify Rebellion, you have Harstem.
And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map for Alpha X, this is Astrea. Yeah, just to your point as well, this does kind of put a little bit of a halt to the fairy tale run of Alpha X in this competition. We did see them go down for the first time, I believe it was a few weeks ago. See if I can find it. Yes, to DPG. So they went down to they dropped their first game to DPG just a few weeks ago, and that was the only time that they've been defeated apart from tonight. So yeah, they are kind of in a bit of a weird spot where they were competing with DPG onside Psystorm for that top spot, but this does push them down just a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking about it last week about how, or a couple of weeks ago, about how towards the end of the round robin stage, Alpha X are going up against the heavy hitters, Shopify Rebellion and Onside Gaming, and that's where they're really going to be tested. It feels like against some of these stronger teams, they're struggling a little bit more, but of course they'll have a chance to redeem themselves in the playoff bracket when we get there. For the time being, we'll see if Astrea can try and tie up the series here in this best of two. We do see some pretty standard openers going for these 2-gate openers, and Astrea is looking for the proxy.
Yeah, there we go. Astrea definitely sensing something is going on here. Both players going for that 2-gate opening. We do see Harstem, as he does tend to do, skipping out on some of those gateway units for that fast expansion. So yeah, this is something that I was pointing out that he likes to do against 1-gate expand. Looks like he is happy to play it against the 2-gate expand as well.
Yeah, so he goes 2-gate, goes for a faster Nexus instead of faster Tech. Pretty interesting choice, and he has opted to go for a Stargate, but this time at home.
Yeah, this is very interesting. This is very greedy. He's actually skipped out on a lot of the gateway units to make this happen. So it's going to be up to Astrea to maybe challenge that with a bit of Stalker pressure.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pull that off here, as Astrea is going to be moving out with a handful of gateway units throughout the center of the map. Should be getting eyes on that fast Nexus, but I don't know if he's really going to be able to punish it, as he's just now going to get eyes on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We just see Blink is being chronoed on out, and Astrea hasn't really thrown down a natural yet. Does get that scout into the main as well. We're going to be seeing a lot of these probes going down.
Yeah,
Oh,
not just
actually
the
focused.
probes.
It's a sentry. Wow.
Yeah, the sentry is going to be going down as well. I did take a couple of extra shots due to that guardian shield, but 4 probes end up falling.
Yeah, 4 probes in a sentry. That is huge damage for 2 adepts. And we do see Harstem just being punished a little bit there for skipping out on those gateway units. Isn't able to take down those adepts quickly at all.
He really isn't, but he's going to have an opportunity here to try and come back. He did go for that Stargate. He is going for an Oracle, going for a second Oracle behind it. And we do see that Astrea is going to be delaying or skipping his shield battery in the main base. Is going to be relying a lot more on his Stalkers instead.
Yeah, but at the same time, these stalkers are probably going to have a blink when that second oracle comes across.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be hard here for Harstem to try and find some damage. We saw last game, Astrea was doing such a beautiful job at keeping up with those oracles and just didn't really allow them to deal any damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, we see that revelation going down for Harstem. We'll get eyes on the Twilight Council as well, so he should be aware at least that Blink is being researched, if not knowing when it finishes.
Exactly, and we have that proxy gateway on the way for Astrea. Is going to be ramping up that aggression. Ay, ay, ay. 2 more adepts going to be going across the map. This time again, Harstem, stop the shade.
Stop the count. Stop the shade.
The shade gets into the main base once again. The wall was not a wall, and last time we got 4 probes. This time we may get more. Oh.
Yeah, he is out for blood here. 5 of those probes going down, and on top of the damage that we did have previously, that amounts to a actually rather small probe lead for Australia. It does look like maybe he was just cutting things a little bit here and there, or possibly even a little bit later on his natural. So Harstem kind of probing through the pain here. But we do see Astrea has a little bit of aggression in mind.
Oh, he does have that in mind as he's going to be warping in another wave of Stalkers. Going to be going across the map. He's getting his Prism as well. We'll see if he goes for an Immortal or he's going for the Robo. We'll see if he goes for the Immortal or the Prism to reinforce across the map and try and slip into the main base as well as Astrea is moving out.
Yeah, there we go. Harstem going to be taking that back at third base. Both players actually taking the back third base. We have Blink on the way for Harstem. Observer coming out for Astrea as well. It does look like he's not going to be putting on any pressure just yet.
Especially with that third and even the Forge on the way, it looks like Astrea was maybe tempting fate a little bit, but doesn't really want to commit to anything major. So likewise, same can be said for Harstem as he also starts his Forge. So things were getting a little bit chaotic to begin with. Harstem was losing a lot of workers, but now things will settle for the time being.
Yeah, there we go. We have charge on the way as well. We've got a little bit of a observer going down there for Astrea.
Nice revelation from Harstem. Going to be able to catch that in time, keeping Astrea in the dark. Meanwhile, Astrea, he's just going to be progressing with his tech. He's going to be working towards charge. Same can be said for Harstem. So for the time being, both players are keeping up with each other. Again, just Astrea having an economic advantage from that early game. Oh,
yeah. A bit of a small supply block for Astrea. I think we did see a bit of a supply block for him last game as well. So just managed to clear that one up. And both players looking, relatively mirrored throughout. That probe lead Astrea had earlier on from the kills that he got is still extending on into the mid game.
It really is, and it just goes to show how things can snowball here when it comes to the worker counts, when it comes to these mirror matchups as well. Just because he didn't have to focus too much on maintaining his economy anywhere near as much as Harstem, and now we're kind of transitioning here into the mid game. Both players working towards their 4th bases. We have some robos on the way as well. We're kind of just keeping our eye out for any kind of hints at aggression, whether anyone makes a prism or even techs up even further, going up into a faster robotic space.
Yeah, absolutely. We just still have that DT option as well. We just see Harstem throwing down plenty of these stasis wards. He's going to be trying to keep himself safe at home. A few more extra gateways going down for Astrea as well as that 4 starts to finish on up. And we are just seeing both players trying to vie for a little bit of map control, clear out some vision, but nothing too aggressive from either of them just yet.
Yeah, nothing too major. We're just kind of testing the waters for the time being. We do have a bit of a gateway explosion once again for both players as +1 attack finishes. Harstem is going to be threatening this fourth, but with the sack defense, with the cannons, with the shield batteries, I don't know if he can really find too much success here.
Yes, we do see a couple of depths just be dipping in once again. Nice blink coming out from Harstem. He's going to trap them, but unfortunately, those rallying probes going to be going down.
Oh.
The shade does finish as well, and yeah, we see a few more probes getting taken down.
Yeah, just drawing the attention of Harstem here back in towards the natural. 3 probes are going to be going down in the end. Both players working on their expansions. Harstem actually going for a much faster 4th base. Actually going for a 4th, a bit of a different location actually. So interesting how the bases, their layouts are going to be avoiding each other a little bit. And there is that famed Dark Shrine.
Yeah, there we go. And Astrea will need to try to get a little bit of damage with it because, once again, like we saw with last game, Harstem does find his footing in this mid game where he does get that 5th down a little bit faster than Astrea. We saw this on Cosmic Sapphire as well. We once again see a little bit of pressure being put on these observers, but nothing too crazy just yet.
Oh my god, the dance for the observer in the end. Astrea barely keeps it alive. We do see Harstem trying to force his way up this ramp. Nothing here though. The base in this location was not taken yet. Harstem just checking, poking, prodding, backing off as he's going for his own Dark Shrine.
Yeah, and there we go. Astrea's Prism is going to be dipping on in. It looks like Harstem has a Zealot in position to get vision on that.
Well, he does have a Zealot, so the Prism does back off for the time being. We should be seeing a couple of DTs morphed in, but Harstem is making a beeline for the Prism. He wants it.
Yeah, bringing his whole army up here, actually, as we do see Astrea going to be starting to research that DT blink, and he's going to be looking to put on a little bit of pressure with those DTs once again, maybe blink on some cannons.
We'll see if he can pull it off here. It looks like Harstem is going to back off, rotate back towards the center of the map. We see plenty of pylons and even stasis traps scattered around the map here from Harstem. He has so much map vision and map control, but that can suddenly swing in favor of Astrea as we do now see the bay from both players.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like both players going to be heading into that disruptor late game, something that Harstem does excel with.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We saw that last game, but we'll see how Astrea fares. At the same time, we do see a little bit of a run by on the bottom left-hand corner, but it is going to get swatted away. The DTs do not find a way in. There are just too many cannons, too many shield batteries. And I guess that Prism was sniped?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it is.
I guess it went down.
It's gone.
It's gone, papi.
We do see Astrea actually adding quite a lot of immortals into his army, so some pretty serious firepower here as we do see a few of these zealots being caught out.
Yeah, Astrea trying to go for a bit of a run by, but he does get caught out in the end. He does have a massive amount of immortals, which will do well against the Stalkers. Not so much against Zealots and not so much against Disruptors.
Is this a standard zealot skin? I can't really tell them apart.
Maybe. It's hard to say as the DTs are flooding on in, and it looks like there's no cannons.
Yeah, no cannons whatsoever. This mineral line absolutely decimated. The Nexus in some serious trouble as well.
At the same time, the main armies are going to be engaging here in the in the middle of the map. Astrea diving on top of these Stalkers.
Wow, Astrea really distracting Harstem there. Is going to be able to capitalize on that. Even forcing that overcharge, so should feel a lot more confident to make this fight happen. Is he watching, though, for these Disruptors?
Is he watching? Are we watching? As it looks like we see a blink on forward. Both Disruptors go down immediately, and Harstem, does blink on back, does avoid the purification over, but the Immortals are pushing on forward.
Yeah, this power army of Astrea with all these Immortals is really paying off. We see the distraction of the DTs as well, just causing complete havoc, and Harstem calls the GG. Finds the leave game button as well, and there we go, Astrea with that consolation win, and it will be a 4-2 overall.
Wow, in one swift move, the game was relatively passive overall. Both players just, backing off, taking their thirds, taking their fourths, taking their fifths, just taking on up as well, working towards Disruptors. But Astrea, once the DTs come out, he finds one opening, and all it takes is one moment. And Harstem was a little bit in shambles there. He did have his Disruptors coming out, but he wasn't able to keep them alive. He wasn't able to utilize them to give himself some breathing room. Things just escalated very quickly.
Yeah, there we go. So a very close match between Shopify and AlphaRex, but of course the story of that matchup was ByuN's 2-0 over RagnaroK. Very dominant performance with his multi-prong attacks, and that is going to give Shopify the win. Of course, we do see coming up tomorrow, we are going to have, of course, Liquid and the Starving Camels, and one of the most important matchups coming into this playoffs. On-site gaming versus Ice Storm.
Oh, exactly. That's really going to help shape the overall kind of playoff bracket and the standings. So be sure to be there for that final day of WTL round 10. We still got another week ahead of us for more World Team League action. But what a day of StarCraft we've had today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great day of StarCraft. Vindictor, of course, pulling through for the CranKy Ducklings with a fantastic 2-0 over Rattata. I'm sure he'll be very proud with that one.
Oh, yeah, very proud indeed. So yeah, the CranKy Ducklings, we were able to, have a decent performance overall. Again, I'm always proud of our boys, of Paddy Mac, of Dolan, of Vindictor. They did us well, especially Vindictor, really showing that he has the capability to 2-0 some of these other more well-known players. His TVZ, beautiful, Pap.
Beautiful. Dun, 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 dun,
So yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves here. I hope they enjoyed the casting. I know sometimes it can get a little bit silly, it can get a little bit wild, but really, it's on Asher because he keeps talking about stuff that he hasn't seen.
What?
So when I ask him about it, he has no follow-up. Never a follow-up. What are you talking about?
Animal, you're meant to agree with me.
Have you even seen Titanic?
No.
God. What? Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
So it could be Jack and Jill for all you know. Who is her name? What's her name?
I don't know.
God damn it. Ay, mate. We need to have like a catch up, like a life
Rose
movie.
Jack
night.
and Rose.
Jack and Rose. There it is, Rose. Draw me like your French girls.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. So yeah. GG, well played. Ash, do you have anything else you want to add regarding our players, regarding our matchups here today?
Just that I want to believe. I want to. Oh god.
In what? What are you
Poppy?
What are you saying? What are you believing?
I've kept it together for all of this night, and the last vestiges of my sanity are leaving me.
What are you believing in?
I believe in the power of Voltron.
Oh, I believe as well, Bobby. Voltron. We're gonna have one final showing next week for round 11. Of course, the final week of the round robin. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching, everyone for tuning in. Massive shout out to Kuro as well, because Kuro is, of course, handling the production. There were some people asking earlier, about the observing. That's not Kuro. She's only doing production, not observing. Observing is done by someone else. Sometimes it's Lucky Day. Sometimes it's someone else. I don't know. So yeah, it is a bit of a different setup here for World Team League, but we try and make do, and we have a lot of fun, and we're able to fly away together.
So we definitely do something.
I'm flying, Jack. I'm flying.
I'm gonna need you to let me have that door go into the water light. Goodbye.
I'm gonna need you to step off, please.
No, but there's room for both of us.
There's room for no. Step off, okay?
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor.
It's gonna be a better story if you die. Sorry, dude.
It's a metaphor for ZBT. The Zerg always dies, Buffy. It always dies.
True.
True.
Into the icy waters. Let's go.
Oh god, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. I'm gonna be casting ESL Book of Asia in just under 12 hours with Yaku of the Zaku. So be sure to tune in for that. Meanwhile, we may cast day 3 of World Team League. It depends. We'll see how we feel. We'll see if we're sane. See if our brains are where they should be.
Beautiful. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care of yourselves. Drink plenty of water. Take care of each other. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye
Ciao.
bye.